Good evening, Otherworldlies. This is Juliana Angel, your dark mask diva. So, people ask me, what's the difference between a bozo and a narcissist? Alright, so people are asking about narcissists a lot. Alright, so I've had some narcissists in my life, and it might not be what you guys think I'm talking about. And of course, you know, I've had plenty of bozos in my life. Now, the bozos weren't necessarily narcissists, and the narcissists weren't necessarily bozos, but I tend to think all narcissists are bozos, right? But all bozos aren't necessarily narcissists. Narcissistic Personality Disorder is, it's actually a clinical diagnosis, and the thing is people are throwing the word narcissist around a lot, okay? They're throwing it around YouTube, they're throwing it around everywhere, all right? But a narcissist is actually not just somebody who's some kind of jerk in your life, okay? A narcissist is actually somebody with a clinical diagnosis. That is somebody with a personality disorder, all right? There are different personality disorders, all right? There's like a histrionic personality disorder, all right? There's a borderline personality disorder. There's obsessive compulsive personality disorder, and there's a narcissistic personality disorder. I think those are all of them. I'm not sure, but you know, that's a dark triad situation going on. A narcissist is also referred to as a narcopath. Okay, so that is sort of in the same family as like a psychopath or sociopath. Okay, so when we're talking about that, that's not just some jerk who cheats on you. Okay, a narcissist is something else. Okay, it's not necessarily what you think it is. It's not just some guy who's in your life and he lies and cheats on you. A narcissist is something else. All right, I'm not saying he's not a guy who lies and cheats on you, but a narcissist is, we're not just throwing that word around to describe, you know, the guy in your life who's an asshole. Okay, I'm going to tell you what a narcissist is. All right, a narcissist is somebody who actually they actually have really low self-esteem. And you guys are like, what? Oh, you're kidding me. Yeah, they do. Okay, this is somebody who has a personality disorder. So something happened to them early in life. There was some kind of early childhood trauma. So now that I'm describing this, I'm not telling you to feel sorry for the person. Okay, because this is somebody who's an abuser. All right, so anybody who's an abuser is somebody I'm not telling you to feel sorry for. But this is somebody who has a mental illness. All right. So narcissism is a mental illness. Now, before I get into it, I'm going to tell you that every human being has some degree of narcissism in their personality, all right? A lot of people who are world leaders, all right, have a high degree of narcissism because there is such thing as a healthy degree of narcissism, all right? We all need to have some sense of delusion of grandeur to be successful in life. We all have to have a good imagination, and we all have to have a little bit of an inflated sense of self-worth to be successful, all right? Because a lot of people need to be visionaries. They need to think outside the box, and they need to have kind of an inflated sense of self-worth to really get anywhere in life. So that is considered narcissism. All right, so there is a healthy degree of that particular thing, but we are talking about a personality disorder, and that is a completely whole different ball of wax. Okay, this is a personality disorder to where it's a form of mental sickness. All right, so these types of people, they are like this empty vacuum inside where they need constant validation from other people. All right, so what they do, they need excessive praise. Okay, they need excessive praise, and they kind of see themselves as demigods, right? So they need excessive praise and validation from other people. Okay, now, okay, you're thinking, but they're egomaniacs, right? They're empty inside. They need excessive praise and validation from other people. Okay, what does that sound like? That sounds like somebody who doesn't like themselves. If they're needing constant outside validation from other people. Okay, that's the difference between someone who just runs around and cheats for fun, because they're a sex addict or something like that. And the difference between somebody who's just out there needing constant validation from other people. That's the difference between a narcissist and just someone who's your run-of-the-mill cheater, okay? This person is doing something called monkey branching, and they're constantly cheating. They're constantly doing that because they're empty inside, okay? Again, we're not feeling sorry for them, okay? But this person is empty inside. All right. That's why they're constantly cheating. That's why when you're talking about your narcissistic ex or so-and-so's narcissistic ex or somebody's narcissistic husband or narcissistic wife or whatever who's always cheating, all right, this is a person with extremely low self-esteem who needs constant validation, who needs constant attention, and that's why they're always cheating, all right? That's why they always have 2 or 3 people on the back burner. They're always messing around because they need constant validation from several people at once, okay? That's why they're always cheating. It's not necessarily like they have a higher sex drive or whatever. They just need that, they're not a sex addict, okay? They just need that constant validation from other people, all right? That's different than somebody who's a sex addict that needs to go to meetings and, has a hormonal imbalance. This person needs that validation, all right? They feel ugly inside. They feel empty inside. They're sick, okay? They have a personality disorder. They just need that constant validation, all right? So that's what makes them different than somebody who's a sex addict, okay? The narcissist lacks empathy, all right? This is somebody who cannot they cannot imagine the way another person feels, okay? They can go kick cats and dogs, people's kids, all right? They can hurt a child, they can kill a child and not care, all right? You don't want to marry somebody like this. They'll hurt your child, and then they don't care, okay? There are varying degrees of this person not caring. But at the end of the day, they do not care like normal people. They are not normal people, you guys. They do not have the emotional capacity, and their souls are not normal, okay? And I really don't mean to scare you, but I do mean to scare you because it's the truth. They do not feel the way normal people, they do not have the capacity to feel the way normal people do, okay? And some of them are worse than others. Some of them are more human than others, but they really do not have the same capacity as a regular person who has empathy, okay? So they're extremely dangerous, all right? And you might say, that sounds like a normal blah, blah, blah that I'm used to. Well, I'm sorry if that's what you're used to, but that is not normal, okay? That's, they just, they don't mind hurting other people because they don't have the capacity to put themselves in someone else's shoes. Okay, that's the same as a psychopath or a sociopath. Okay, that's why they call them a narcopath. Okay, that's a narcissist. So they're going around, they're needing this excessive attention, they're empty inside. You guys, they don't have the capacity to feel. Okay, they're not normal people. Okay. They tend to want to scam people and embezzle people for money. All right, that's what a lot of people don't talk about. Narcissists, that's why they get into relationships with other people. All right, when they are not looking for constant attention from other people, they are trying to get money from other people. All right. They get with other people not for the right reasons. They want the excessive attention. They want to be catered to constantly by somebody else, but they're mainly just getting with that person to embezzle money from them, basically, right? Okay, we're talking about, a man who marries a woman and he really doesn't want to be with her and love her and cherish her. He wants her to be a workhorse. Okay, I've seen this lots of times. Okay, so I had a friend whose husband, you can tell that he didn't love her. He wanted to just, make her be a workhorse, and that's what she was. And I don't think his sexual preference was adult women. Okay, not to be gross. Okay, so yeah, he was basically, marrying her under false pretenses, and I don't think he was attracted to her at all. Okay, so he was a narcissist. All right, and when he divorced her, he intimidated her and took her for all that was worth, and did all these things, and it was really bad. So, and I don't want to get into it because I'm really talking about someone else's business. So, he was a narcissist, and he was just down to totally use her financially. Okay, so that was he married her under false pretenses. Okay, so a narcissist, they have no boundaries. All right, you can't tell them no. If you have a boundary with a narcissist, they will just push harder. All right, so that might be you tell them not to come to your house, and they will just try harder to come to your house. You tell them no sexually, and they will force themselves on you. Whatever you do to try to tell them no, to them that just means try harder, just push harder. They do not want to be told no. And they just need, they see themselves, ironically, as low as their self-worth is. They have this, strangely enough, have this delusion. They have these fantasies of greatness. They have these fantasies of wealth. They have these fantasies that they have these delusions of grandeur, like they are somehow special, right? That they are somehow better than other people. Okay, because something happened to them where they were either coddled by their parents, or they were either so severely deprived or so severely abused that somehow something snapped in their mind, and they think they're better. They think they're more special than other people, right? So they have these fantasies of wealth and power and that kind of thing, right? So we know people like that who use it to good. But we also know other people where it's a complete delusion, and they just think they're better than other people. And they go around acting like they're better than other people, right? So, and it shows, and they just require all this special attention. Now, we see people who go around, you see these ladies who go around, and they always have a problem. They always need to talk to the manager. You see these ladies who act like Karens, right? They always have to complain about this. Something's wrong with my food. Something's wrong with my order. Something's wrong. They order something from like Amazon. They always have to go in and have an issue with it. They're always at a restaurant. They always have an issue with this. They always have an issue with that. And if you hang around somebody like that, they're just dang embarrassing, right? You don't want to be friends with somebody like that, because they have an issue with everything. And it's embarrassing because they just feel entitled, like you did something wrong, and they're going to make an example of you, and you're probably not even the person that did it wrong, right? But they just feel so entitled, like they have to put everybody to task to fix it, whatever that they did, right? And everyone around him just has to scurry around and act like their little servant, right? Okay, that's the kind of Karen I'm not talking about the racist Karen. I'm just talking about the person that has to talk to the manager about every little thing. Like every time they go in to do something, they have to tell somebody they did their job wrong. Those kind of people, okay? Those kind of people oftentimes are narcissist, okay? And they could be a man too. I mean, but they call those people Karens. I think when they're a guy, they call them Daves. But anyway, those kind of people, that's what I'm talking about, okay? So those people are narcissists. They lack empathy. Sometimes you're not even criticizing them, but they take it like you're criticizing them, okay? They're sensitive to everything, and that's not even what you meant, okay? I can't think of any examples right now because I really just try to avoid those people. Once I start getting the weird feeling they're a narcissist, I try to hide from them. So I haven't tried to criticize any of them lately because they're kind of rearing their ugly heads around me lately, and I'm becoming like real aware of them. So I've just been like hiding from all of them. Now that I'm figuring out who they are, I'm just like, yikes, Once you figure out somebody is a narcissist, stay away from them. They are actually really dangerous. They become stalkers. They have it in for you. They decide that you are the world's biggest jerk because you are not bowing to their agenda. How dare you? How dare your life not revolve around them and you totally give them their way? Because you are just there to totally serve them and please them, and you're there for them. You're there to, that they will start hating you once you stop being a doormat. That's the reason they like you, because you're a doormat. Once you stop being a doormat, they're going to hate you. And they're going to try to punish you for it. So look out, it's coming, okay? Once you stop being a doormat, you're going to see all these narcissists pop up. You're going to notice, like, I hate to say this, a lot of the people in your life like you because you're a doormat. And once you stop being one, you're going to notice a bunch of people in your life are narcissists. I'm just going to let you know that right now. A lot of people only like you because you are a pushover. So once you stop being a pushover, you're going to notice a lot of people in your life are going to act like narcissists, and they're going to show themselves to you. And I'm really sorry to tell you that. Yeah. So just so you know that. Let's see, what else did they do? Yeah, they don't want to take no for an answer. They want you all to themselves. Oh, but don't talk about yourself. They will change the subject to something that's going on with them. Oh, and they're haters. They cannot stand when something nice happens to you and it's not happening to them, because your life is completely supposed to revolve around them, and they are secretly, completely freaking jealous of you. Yeah. They're haters of you, but they want to hang out with you. No one wants to hang out with you more and be in your business more than your haters, and the narcissist is definitely one of them. Yeah, I don't understand the whole deal with the haters, but your haters are always wanting to hang out with you, and that's a narcissist, okay? Now, I'm going to get off the narcissist now and explain the bozos. Okay. Bozo. That term was coined in 1940. Yeah, it's been around that long. It's been around that long. Bozo is one of those things that's people back east, like around New York, New Jersey, they say bozo more than we say it here in California. Okay, but the B Mindset podcast, we say bozo on there all the time. All right, but Zen the Billionaire Boss, okay, he says bozo, and I also say bozo. All right, so when Nathaniel says bozo, he means it in one way, and when Zen says it, he means it in another way. I'm going to tell you what I mean when I say it, all right? So when everyone says bozo, they have their own meaning for it. Now, yeah, a bozo can be a narcissist, all right? Because narcissists are bozos because they're just, well, they're mentally ill, okay? They're mentally ill, but they're jerks. So the fact that they are jerks makes them a bozo. But to me, a bozo is a schmuck, okay? A bozo is like someone who goes around telling a bunch of crazy stories that are made up, okay, to try to impress you. And they don't impress you because you don't care, okay? A bozo is someone who goes around telling a bunch of made up stories to impress you. You don't care. And you're really just trying to get away from the person. All right, this is somebody that they're like, a bozo to me is like someone who's like an undesirable, right? You're trying to get away from this storytelling jackass, all right? So here's the storytelling jackass, right, that you're trying to get away from. They're trying to make a big deal out of whatever story they're telling, trying to impress you with it. You're not impressed. And they're just making stuff up, and then you find out the truth that they're making it up, but you kind of knew it all along, right? And then you get away from them, and then they're making up a new story, but it's about you. So they're telling other people the story about you, except those people are also schmucks, right? And they're bozos, but they're believing the story they're making up about you, right? So they're making up the story about you, okay? These people are bozos. All right, so they're these clowns that are making up stories. They're just constantly making up stories, and they're trying to bring other people in with them to bug you. So they're basically gang stalking you. Okay, so it's usually a dude who's bringing these dumb chicks in to be friends with them, to bug you, to try to get you to be friends with them again. Because, it's usually a dude who likes you and you don't want to have anything to do with him. That's usually, and he's making up all these stories to try to impress you. because he's just like a dude who lies, basically. But he's not a very good liar. Some guys are better liars than others, but this guy, I'll tell you what a bozo he was. Do you guys remember, okay, the content that I did, where this guy was trying to tell me that he was in a gang, and it was a famous South Central Los Angeles gang. Okay, and he kept trying to tell me he was in this gang. Now the thing is, I'm not really impressed with people who are in gangs, and I'll tell you one thing. My family's from Los Angeles, okay, but not from that area. The thing is, I don't want to be involved in gangs. I'm from a hood-ass hood, okay? I don't want to be involved in stuff like that. I'm always trying to avoid it, okay? Like, I would look out the window and see drive-bys. I don't want to be around that, okay? I'm always trying to avoid crime and all that stuff, okay? I don't want to have anything to do with any of that, okay? So I was always just trying to survive and always trying to stay out of trouble and always trying to end up here where I'm at now. My goal was to end up here, and now I'm here. So it was like I didn't want to have anything to do with any of that. But this guy was always talking about that, saying how he was affiliated with that particular gang, and I was just like, miss me with that. But he was constantly talking about it, right? Well, one day I went to a friend's house, and she had some guys who were actually from that gang at her house, and I was like, really? You had to bring those gangsters to your house, and now, like, I'm at your house? And I ended up talking to the gangsters, and I was trying to, like, figure out how I was going to, like, leave without offending them. Because, I wasn't trying to make any gangsters mad at me, right? I was scared, I was scared. And, but I was cool. I was talking to him and everything like that, and I'm just looking at her like, I'm going to kill you, right? And so they brought his name up, and I'm like, oh, God. And I'm like, yeah, I know him. They go, what do you think of him? And I'm like, he's a schmuck, he's a bozo, And I go, yeah, he's trying to say he's down with you guys. And they're like, he's not. I go, yeah, that's what I thought. I go, but all he does is talk about how he bangs with you and does this and does that. And they're like, he's a liar. And I'm like, I know, I know, he's stupid. And all this kind of stuff. Well, she's like hanging out with these dudes. And I'm like, do you know how dangerous these guys are? What are you doing? Why are you hanging out with these, like, what's wrong with you, Like, she wasn't all there, Like, why are you hanging out with gangsters? Like, why? I mean, we weren't even in, South Central Los Angeles, and I don't even know what they were doing in the area, to be honest. Okay, because we weren't even in that area. Like, what were they doing there? But all of a sudden, there they were, and they were just talking about what a joke he was, and they said that they met him, and they were just like, yeah, he's a joke. I go, he is a joke. He's a bozo, and all he tried to do was talk about, your gang all the time and how you guys were down and all this kind of stuff. They're like, yeah, he's a big liar. And I go, he's just a joke anyways. And they're like, yeah, he is, I'm like, well, nice to meet you and all, I'm going to go home. And they're like, can we walk you home? I'm like, I'm alright, I'll see you later, just like, I didn't want them to know where I lived. And I told her, do not ever bring them into my house. I did not want them knowing where I lived, so I just kind of made some excuse that I needed to leave or whatever, and I was scared, but so that guy was a bozo, so he's always telling stories, always trying to impress me that he was part of that gang, and something I didn't want to have anything to do with, and, and I was yelling at her later, like, why did you bring them to your house? Do you know how dangerous those people are? She goes, I just wanted you to know that he was lying to you. And I'm like, I know he was lying to me. You think I'm stupid? I go, do you think I'm even impressed by any of that? I go, it took me forever to get that bozo to stop bothering me. But that's what I mean. The guy was a bozo. He wasn't really a narcissist. He was just a dumbass. So, anyway, if you're talking about some guy who's just a jerk, he's insulting you, he's cheating on you, maybe he's just an asshole. But a narcissist has narcissistic personality disorder, and a bozo's just some dummy. Okay? Like the guy I just talked about. I hope that clears everything up. If you want me to do another video about this, I'll be glad to. But if you go around calling everybody a narcissist, maybe you just have an asshole boyfriend that you need to put in check. Okay, he doesn't necessarily have narcissistic personality disorder. Those people are extremely dangerous. Okay, and or maybe you just have a bozo who lies all the time. I don't know. There are different degrees of people you just don't want around. Okay. All right. So I love you guys, and I will see you in the next content. Enjoy this Leo moon. All right. I love you guys. Bye bye.